Welcome to Young Business Professionals. I'm Felix and I hope you are fine today. We are sharing a brief introduction about the ISO 9001 standard with all of you. The target is to give you a general understanding of the standard in maximum 10 minutes. If you are interested in increasing your automotive knowledge, please feel free to subscribe to my channel and like the video. You may also check out our Facebook page, through which we would like to create a community that shall support each other, growing everybody's knowledge. The ISO 9001 is an international acknowledged standard for quality management systems that was defined by the International Organization of Standardization, ISO. It defines requirements that shall be fulfilled by management systems. Companies that are following and using that standard are being certified by third-party auditors. The certificate is proving the quality of the management system to external interested parties such as customers or suppliers. More important, a certification of a management system according to ISO 9001 is not just any kind of stupid paperwork. It is also a great tool to control and manage your company day by day. You should not just certify your company because of other parties are requesting that. There are also a lot of benefits for you and the company itself. The target of this standard is to define a minimum of requirements for quality management systems for an organization. The standard aims to make sure that customer expectations as well as governmental requirements will be understood and secured in a standardized way. In addition, it tries to apply a continuous improvement approach throughout all processes of the organization. Since the last revision of this standard has been released, also the high-level structure and the PDCA cycle was implemented in the agenda of the standard. We will point out later what that means specifically, but it's already important to hear and understand that. In general, the standard is focused stronger on a process approach than before. That's an aspect of importance as the standard is applicable to each and every company now and is not interfering but supporting the original process landscape of the organization. Taking a look on the agenda of the standard that consists out of 11 points, we can also find this high-level structure and PDCA cycle in there again. Chapter 0 till 3 is just introducing and explaining abbreviations, terms and definitions and similar. Chapter 4 is describing requirements about the context of the organization. Chapter 5 about the leadership of the organization. 6 about how planning shall be realized through the management system. Within chapters 7 and 8, support and operation of the company is described. And in chapter 9 is described how to evaluate the performance of business processes, and chapter 10 handles about improvements. As you can see on the slide now, the agenda is reflecting the PDCA cycle. First points are in line with planning procedures, 7 and 8 with doing things, 9 with checking and measuring things, and 10 with acting through improving things. The background of implementing this so-called high-level structure in the update of the document is that this is a structure that can be also used in other standards. For example, the IETF 6949. And as the ISO 9001 is the basement for the implementation of the IETF 6949, it makes sense that this structure is the same. So it's pretty simple to add the IETF onto the ISO standard. And this structure is also applied in other standards, such as environmental ones, so they can be added on top of each other in a very easy way. Now let me give you an update of which changes have been performed to the ISO 9001 since its latest revision in 2015. The update was released in 2015 but was initiated already in 2012. Since that time, the standard has 11 instead of 8 chapters, and the high-level structure was implemented. I'm just seeing right now that there is written 10 instead of 8, so in reality it's 11. Because there's also chapter 0, so sorry for this mistake. The background of this implementation was that the ISO is aiming to define the agenda of all standards identically, so they can easily communicate and interact with each other. So in future we will probably see further standards with the same structure. In addition, a few other points have been changed through this revision. The first point is that the standard is now aiming to understand and consider the context of the organization. That means that the influence of shareholders, the government, employees of the company, but also the neighborhood is being recognized, evaluated, and monitored. The second point is that is listed here is that the so-called risk-based approach that has been implemented. That means that risks of all processes of the company are being understood and evaluated frequently in order to take them into account and derive actions to improve processes whenever possible. Also, that point once more shows the PDCA approach that shall be reflected through the standard. The next point refers to a new chapter that was implemented during the last revision, which is referring to the knowledge management of the organization. That's an important fact that each organization should take care about, and you can manage that through tools like FMEAs, for instance. And the last point on that slide is referring to the fact that changes within the management system must be monitored and documented. Let's take a look now on which benefits the certification according to ISO 9001 standard is providing. First, we can mention that it is a benefit for the organization that all processes are documented in an easy and understandable way. This is important as everybody that is working in the organization, but also beside the organization or somebody that is entering the organization, for example, a new employee, needs to have easy and quick access and understanding on how the company is operating. The management system is also helping to define responsibilities and authorizations within the company in a consistent way. And it is also a great tool to build, control, and manage a company. It helps the management team to transfer the vision and the mission of the company through specific targets per process down to each single team member of the company. In addition, it's also making sure that strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and risks are determined, monitored, and taken into account frequently. All that leads to the fact that the organization is getting more efficient and is working more reliably, and of course also more with a higher profitability. Moreover, the certificate is of course also increasing the level of trust of all surrounding parties. Let me finally spend a few words on how to achieve and maintain the certification status. The ISO team has defined certification requirements that need to be fulfilled. Before to start the certification process, you need to implement a bunch of required documentation and tools into your organization. After that activity is closed, you are ready to be audited by a third party according to the certification guidelines. You need to pass a first bigger audit in order to achieve the certification status. This first certification audit is divided into two steps. The first step is checking your certification readiness. Once this is done, the second audit step may start, in which single local interviews according to an audit plan with all process owners of the organization will be performed. That means that these process owners will be interviewed and asked to present how their processes are described and used during the daily business life. After that, the auditor is creating an audit report that is describing the company or describing if the company is fulfilling the requirements or not. It may happen that non-conformities have been detected. These will be reported in the audit report and have to be solved by the company through corrective actions within a specific time. There is a differentiation in between minor and major non-conformities. Once the certificate is granted the first time, the organization needs to reconfirm the ability to respect the standard yearly, passing so-called surveillance audits. And the scope of these audits is a bit lower than in comparison to the first audit, but there is a special focus on non-conformities detected in the previous audit and how they have been solved. With regard to the timing, I added a few notes on this slide. The first surveillance audit has to be conducted latest 12 months after the first certificate has been issued. For the second one, there is another 3 months of flexibility. After 3 years, a recertification audit needs to be passed. The scope of the recertification audit is a bit lower than the originally passed certification audit at the very beginning. Well, that was my short introduction into the ISO 9001 standard. I didn't make it totally in 10 minutes, but at least we are at 10:20 now. I hope you had the chance to learn something. In case you're interested in further topics, leave a comment below and let me know what you are interested in, and I will try to do my best to do another video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm looking forward for your likes and your feedback below. Please subscribe to the channel to not miss further updates. Please feel free to join also our Facebook community. You will find the link down below. And now, have a great day.